Good evening, welcome back to All Fans TV. I'm John. How are we all? Rams, how are we, my friend?
Big up yourselves, people. What are you saying? Man like Rams in the house? Yeah. I'm ready for this week. What are we saying, John?
Yeah, well, I'm not looking forward to it overly, I won't lie.
What's that?
Yeah, obviously, I think you know why, young man. I think you know why. Let me get them up. I'm having a bit of a nightmare. That is why. So we're going to get straight into it this week, guys. If you haven't joined us before on Fight Camp, we basically spend the first 5 minutes going through last week's result, and then we do the all-important prediction for this week's results. Now, for those that haven't joined us...
Sorry, just give me one moment there, mate. Sorry, one moment. You may think I might have been changing the lighting there, possibly, or you may just want me to just see that score stay up there for a little bit longer, just so we can salivate and appreciate the moment. But I'll let you continue. Sorry, John. Sorry.
No, you wallow in your moment, my friend. I would do the same. So it's only our second week. Well, this is our third week. So we've had 2 weeks worth of predictions. First week was the Shevchenko week. Quite a good UFC and. Rams won that one 1-0. It was a close 2-1 fault victory, but he did win it. And then we got on to this week's, and I wasn't feeling confident on this week's. I don't think neither of us were, because these are them sort of fight nights. You don't even know half the fighters, but I certainly was fairly confident. And as you can see by the scores, I'd love to say mine are the red, but I am in blue. So you'll see that I said Parker versus Chisora versus Parker, and so did Rams. We both got a win for that. But I said Stamen, Rams said Delashvili. I said Kutalaba, so did Rams, but that was obviously a draw. How can you even get a draw in UFC? Who knows? And then I went for the old boy Cub Swanson, who ended up getting destroyed by a liver kick by Jakiti.
He got annihilated.
Yeah, absolutely destroyed. You say your chin goes, I think your body starts to go after all that punishment as well. And then I sillily went for, it says Prochazka there, but I actually went for Reyes. I'm not too sure what's happened there.
Yeah,
I'm not too sure.
But with that, I mean, let's be fair. Parker and Chisora was probably an easy shout. I mean, I think we both probably wanted Chisora to win, but Parker I just saw the later rounds.
But he lost the fight though, right?
To be fair, I think he probably did. Yeah, by a point or two.
I think
Chisora had 5 rounds at least, plus the 10-8 round for the knockdown. So that's 7 points. So worst case, he gets 7 for the next 7 rounds, maybe. So a draw at best for me, but other than that, it might have been Chisora's to pinch.
Yeah, I was quite annoyed by that, because that would have got me back into a 3-2 situation. Wouldn't have looked quite as sad as 4-1. So I'm quite annoyed by that, because Chisora clearly won. So as soon as you see a fighter be interviewed at the end, and the first thing he says is, if Chisora would have won, I wouldn't have minded. Even he thinks he was quite lucky. But the rest of the night, I got it firmly handed to me. And let's just spend a couple of minutes talking about the Reyes Prochazka fight. Obviously the guy comes in, for those who are in their 20s and 30s, remember the old kickboxing film? Do you remember that, with a guy with the ponytail, and he just used to kick the wood, like the metal pole or whatever it was, and the concrete used to shatter, and he had that funny sort of, like, I don't know, for those who have all played computer games, anyone who's done kung fu, that hairstyle, he needed to win as soon as I saw it. But it was a good fight, wasn't it? What did you think?
Mate, I mean, I think that's his second fight in the UFC. To be fair to the guy, he's been having a storm made about him, and before he fought in the UFC, he done well in his first fight, but they slagged off his guard and how much his hands were down, and to come in against Reyes, who's only lost to the best 2 fighters in that weight. To be fair, he lost to Izzy, and he lost to Jones, and he lost to Yan. Okay, you can't moan about those losses. They're 2 great fighters. So for me, he's unbelievable. He's unbelievable, mate. And he got. It was a fight. He got some big shots landed, and he didn't even seem to wince. He just seemed to walk through them.
He's still blocking it with his head, doesn't he? Not much has changed from that first fight.
A bit better, but he's a beast.
Yeah, it was cool to watch. Obviously, I quite like Reyes. I never liked Reyes building up to the Jones fight, and even after it, because I'm a massive Jones fan, and I thought everyone made out he got closer than he did to Jones. But then since then, I've quite liked him, and it was quite surprising to see. But it was a really good fight. I don't want to say one got battered because I don't think they did.
No, it was a good fight.
Good
and
fight. But Prochazka seems to have that killer edge that Reyes maybe doesn't have. And then again in the Jones fight, Reyes had Jones hurt. I think if Prochazka gets anyone hurt, he's going to go for some crazy. He's going to try and get the out, isn't he? So.
And in fairness, Jones is all about elbows, and I've seen him throw a lot, but not finish a lot. Like that finish, mate, with the spinning elbow was naughty, like proper naughty.
And if you have him versus Jan, if he can maybe get one more win, obviously Jan comes through his next fight, you could end up with like an Eastern Bloc type of real big event.
Poland. They've called a venue as well in between the two to try and get it done at that venue. I can't see it. It'd
be excellent, and that's the thing UFC doesn't do enough. It's always in America. It's always somewhere that no one cares about in the nicest possible sense. I want to see these African fighters fight in Africa. I want to see guys that come from the Eastern European and fight in Eastern European, and so does their fans. I really hope that Dana pulls it out on this one because. Yeah, I mean, not that we'll be allowed to go because of COVID, but I could imagine it would just be a pit in there of all local fans. So Rams took this one 2-1. Fair play to you, mate. I take that one on the chin.
4-1, not 2-1, 4-1. Another shout, just to mention another shout. I think I mentioned Marab in a second would do it inside two. I think he did it inside two as well. Yeah, he smashed him up inside two. That bigger kick. That knockout. So yeah. It was a great shout. I'm not as optimistic about the next one, so I won't go too carried away.
The great thing about this is, and the dangerous thing for when you're 2-0 down, like I am already, is it's difficult to predict. So when we were 0-0, I was like, this would be good. 2-0 down, I'm like, sugar. This is not going to be the easiest to recover because even if I don't know, let's say Izzy fights Vettori next. Well, that's not the easiest one to call because Vettori could, but it's fighting, isn't it? So that's why we all love it. For those that are new, obviously please make sure you like and subscribe, support the channel. allfanstv only been going a couple of weeks, so please help us like and subscribe and help us build a community. But to give you a bit more of why we're doing this is there will be some forfeits. So we've agreed when the first person gets to 5. That they will be able to bring down hellfire on the other person with the forfeit. And what's been noticed or mentioned by a couple of the viewers at the moment is a bush chucker trial, which I won't lie, I'm not really looking forward to because I don't really like eating stuff. But I'm saying it like I'm going to lose. I sort of feel like I'm going to get 2-0 down. I won't lie.
Unlucky, John. And in fairness, I thought it was best of 5, so I thought I had one more to win, and you were doing that forfeit. But we're still right. The goalpost can move. I understand. We'll do it 2-5. No drama.
Look, you can tell you're an Arsenal fan. A couple of victories, he feels like the finish line's around the corner. You got a while to go, yeah. But you are 2-0 up, and if you like seeing people squirm. I'm not very good at eating. I can't eat fish, any type of meat. I'm a bloody nightmare. So. And it will be Ram's decision of what I eat, so I can't even pussy it. But let me tell you also now, I made a thick shit, so let's see what happens. And I'm also quite snidey, so I'm hoping that I'm going to end up winning this 5-4, turn it right round at the end, be loads of bants. Rams will be building it up the last few weeks, trying to say, right, you've got to get eaten by a crocodile or something, and then we'll just turn around right at the end and be like, yeah, get that crocodile. So that's last week's. Quite a disappointing, as you can see by Ram's face. He's absolutely buzzing with himself. But like all good things, it comes to an end and a new one starts. So now again, this week, the bottom 3 fights are the best fights of the night. We have got a little bit of boxing, but we'll go for each one. So we've got Maurice Green versus Rodrigo de Lima. Now, I should get the card up actually that we can actually amend while I'm here. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first? How do you want to do this?
So if I remember rightly,
position where you can choose, really.
I remember rightly. You went first last week. I went first week before, but you keep thinking that I'm cheating. So do you know what? I think the only person that can cheat this week is you, because who's going to copy you? So I'll let you go first, my man.
Well, I'm going for a Maurice Green knockout. I've liked him ever since the Ultimate Fighter. I don't really like what he's about, so let me get that clear, because obviously he's been done for some stuff that I don't condone. But in terms of everyone being given a second chance and being out of scrap, he can bang with the best of them. So that's my prediction. Green.
You know what?
Maurice Green.
Green's alright. I don't know much about De Lima. I don't think either of them are a standard that's high enough to really talk too much about. So I'm chucking it out there. I don't know. Do you know what? De Lima. Heads or tails, I'm going with De Lima. Opposite what you said.
Good, because that's the strategy I've had the last couple of weeks. Done really well for me, so you carry on like that. Listen, I've just got written down, go with the heart. Go with the heart, John. Go with the heart. And that's what I'm doing. Which brings me on to one sexy little beast, Michelle Waterson. La 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 la. What a beaut. For that reason, couldn't give a shit if she's good at fighting, bad at fighting. I don't know who this Rodriguez is, but Michelle Waterson is hot. So because of that, she gets John's vote.
I'm really slacking this week. Done no research. I'm going opposite. Rodriguez. Just chuck it out there. Who cares? Rodriguez, I'm 2-0 up. Oi. Man's got time to kill. Let's do it.
Alright, fair enough.
You think I normally just chuck it out there and I just potluck them, and normally I don't. I do the research, I look into it, I give him my heart against my head. This week I've not done as much research. I'm like, you know what, let's wing it. Whoever really doesn't go, I'll go opposite.
Fair enough. Who am I? The only thing is I've ended up with my Waterson really small, which is weird, but it is what it is. So just to clarify, I am going for Michelle Waterson. She is a very attractive young lady, and Rams is going for Rodriguez just because he's going for the opposite. He's going.
And the last good looking one was Paige Dan, and guess what? She was hot, but she couldn't bang. So yeah.
Yeah, she's in bare knuckle boxing, which is mental. And the next one, I'll let you go first because
Nagley.
I love.
No two ways about it. I love Nagley all day long. And I like Neil, don't get me wrong, but I'm a fan of Nagley, so I'm going with my heart, and yeah, I'm going with Nagley.
Honestly, how you can beat me at these things? Have you seen his pronunciation for some of these names? But yeah, I guarantee he'll probably win. I'm also going for Neil Magny.
Prochazka last week was even the worst one I've done so far. It was bad.
Yeah, so we've both gone for Magny with that. But make no mistake, Jeff Neal, this, I'm telling you now, for next week, this will be a very close fight. And whoever wins it probably will go to, it could have gone to the other one. So I'm only going to Magny because...
Are you copying me again?
I can't really lose that. Well, I haven't copied you once so far. But you're right.
Well, that's not,
if I'm in front at this point, I have a take at
let's just confirm. Yes, confirm. Everyone you've gone first, I've gone opposite. I go first on Magny, and you go and copy me. That's what I'm saying.
So I'm first on the next one, Cerrone. Come on, G.
You know what? Have Cerrone. I can't back him. He's on a 7 or 8 losing streak. I don't care who he fights. I'm going with the opposite guy. Whoever's opposite, I'm going for.
Yeah, so on this one, so just quickly, because we bashed through it because we were so excited about how hot Michelle Waterson was, but that fight shouldn't even be on it. So that fight should be Corey Sandhagen versus TJ Dillashaw.
What a fight.
So if you guys weren't aware, that should have been on. It's been delayed for an injury to Dillashaw. Quite a nasty cut by the sounds of it. But it will be going ahead. They're definitely going to fight each other. That's the road to the title for one of them. That's the one Dana wants to fight. So yeah, Waterson and Rodriguez is a late replacement, which is why the reason I brought that up is because Cerrone's opponent, Alex Morono, is again a late replacement for the crazy Sanchez. Have you been seeing that, Rams? what's happened this
madness
week with his coach.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Going in, kicking off all the commentators, and then saying that he wants all the medical records. So Dana's just gone, you want the medical records? Are you having problems? I can't put anyone on that's having problems. Out you go. Give him all his win money and his bonus money. And then 2 days went by of Sanchez pretending he wasn't bothered, and he's going to go to PF1 and he's going to go to the One Championship and all this sort of stuff. And then today he was quite emotional doing an Instagram live, actually physically crying, asking to meet Dana. So I think it's just dawned on him now what the hell's happened. And his manager might. And
to be fair, with his mental state, he shouldn't be fighting anyway. He's all over the place. There's a few of them. Even Mike Perry, again, questionable. Should you even let him fight? They're mentally not stable. And for me, look what happened to Bisping. Bisping at the back end, for me, was questionable whether he was mentally stable to be fighting, especially the fights that are like a week apart. And look, now he's blinding one eye. And, you know, sometimes we go a little bit too far with fighters, and their mental state will take them as far as they'll go all day long. But their brain's not there. So for me, he shouldn't be fighting.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's a shame the way it ended, but it probably ended for the right reasons. Wrong reasons, but the right outcome. Then it brings us to our first bit of boxing. Absolutely buzzing for this. Obviously, for those that haven't been following it, they've been arguing every day since they've both got in the same hotel complex, whether it's size of the ring, type of gloves, who's walking out first, temperature of the fucking changing rooms. And when I first started watching this, I started to think it was Billy Joe acting up a little bit, but now I've started to, what I see it as is I looked at what Tyson Fury did when he went to Germany, kicked off against Klitschko, all on the build up of the week to try and unsettle Klitschko. And then you saw last night that Canelo called him a pussy hole. Like, have you ever seen a Mexican use that word? As he was getting in the lift, where you could tell he'd fucked him off. Like, they were getting to him. And they didn't like it that they were all calling him out for trying to get out of the fight. So he actually said, "You're a pussy hole," in his Mexican out. And I just thought, you know what? You've won. Billy Joe's won. Canelo's going in there to chin him. Where every time I've watched Canelo, he looks like he's putting on a bit of a boxing masterclass. He'll get you in the end, but he's not looking to take your head off straight away. Well, I've got a feeling now, which brings me on to my guess, is I'm going balls deep. I'm going Billy Joe all day long. Come on! I've got it. Come on, you UK.
Love a bit of Billy Joe. Love his swag. Love his bants. Love his interaction with people. Apart from the way he treats his wife, maybe not. But away from that, for me, Canelo's pound for pound, unquestionably, no one near on the same page as him. The fact that he's gone from lightweight fighting Mayweather, being cherry-picked against Mayweather to get him early, to now being untouchable since that point onwards, pretty much. Fighting up to light heavyweight against... what's his name? One that Yard lost to, Kovalev.
Yeah.
So I mean, look at him. The last fight, like super middleweight, great boxer up against. Made light work of him. So Billy Joe's power won't be anywhere near enough. Unfortunately, his footwork will be amazing. I love Billy Joe's feet. He dazzles. He's rusty as well for me. His last fight, he didn't look that good at all. As in comparison to when he was fighting the Canadian 3 years ago, where it was a masterclass from Billy Joe. Yeah. Billy Joe on Song. Yeah, Billy Joe on Song, having a few fights under him, for me would be a very tight fight. But I can't see it. I think Billy Joe's.
So basically, you're not being very patriotic. You're going for the W, and you've seen an easy win. You're going for the easy one, because I could have guessed that. But guess what? Billy Joe Saunders, Tyson Fury. I don't know what else to say. Boys in the camp, lions in the yard, whatever they say. Let's fucking. That's going to be the one that gets me my first point. That's the one that's going to claw it back. And if he does do it, I'll be part of the journey of the biggest upset in boxing, where you'll be sitting there going, "Oh, do you know what? Deep down, I thought Saunders might be able to do it, but I went for the easy W." Well, you go. There's no chance.
There's no chance in this world Billy gets it. Want it or not, Billy Joe's not got it. And mate, come on, you're telling me that I'm going for the W? I've literally gone, pick someone, I'll go opposite. Pick someone, I'll go opposite. I'm giving you a leg up here. And if you can only scrape it this week, that's embarrassing.
Yes. Yeah, well, let's see. So Saturday night we will obviously be live for the UFC, so come and join us. We hopefully will be doing the Saunders versus Canelo fight as well. I just need to have a little look at the undercard, because the reason I love UFC more and more each year and less boxing is because no one wants to fucking fight anyone in boxing, and it's so boring. So what I'm probably going to find when I look at that card is that fight's really exciting, and the rest of the 12 fights I don't know, because they can't share the money out. Where in UFC, everyone has to fight the best. You get multiple good cards, like some of the fights we've got coming up this summer with the and obviously you see Diaz has got injured and he's out of the
Leon Edwards fight,
but they've delayed it a month, so same as a Dillashaw.
It's only a small injury apparently, so it shouldn't be a problem.
I'm sure nothing that I love it when they get injured. How can you be injured and only make a month's difference? Tells me it's a bit weird. I think he realised he's not as fit as he thought he was.
Probably, but just one thing with that boxing, you're right, that's the biggest hate for boxing. You've got Gervonta Davis, Hanley, Garcia, who could fight in one weight. You've got, your likes of your welterweights with Errol Spence and with Crawford and with Pacquiao. It's happening in most weights, but the only person you can say doesn't do that, to be fair, is that man there, Canelo. He's gone up to light heavyweight. He's gone and fought super middleweight. He's come back down to fight middleweight and Billy Joe. He's actually fighting. And actually, if you look at it on paper, the reason that's happening is he left his contract and now fighting sort of freelance. So he does what he wants.
Because now he makes money. He doesn't sit there getting paid to do nothing. That's exactly right. They need to adopt the UFC sort of way of doing it. And I think Eddie Hearn and the Zone are aware of that. I've been watching a lot of IFL on YouTube, and Eddie's saying stuff that in the future leads me to think that they will copy UFC. Why not? It's the fastest growing sport. It has the best fights. And don't forget, we're watching UFC, guys, every Friday. Or every Saturday, sorry. That is amazing when you think of it. Where this fight now, the next big fight after this is probably going to be Fury Joshua. How many big fights you're going to get a year? 5 if you're lucky. Mate, have you favourite fighter? You might be lucky to see him twice.
Only because of the reason we say we might see our favourite fighters more than that, but they're not fighting who we want them to fight. So that's the biggest problem, I'd say.
Yeah, even all of them do. I love Fury, but look at some of the waffle munchies he's fucking fighting. Some of the puddings that roll up to fight him. It's not good enough. So yeah, really looking forward to next week. Some good fights coming up. Obviously Neil Magny and Jeff Neal will probably be the fight of the night, and hopefully we have an upset for us Brits as Saunders tries taking on, as Rams described, the guy who has no equal really in any weight. There's not anyone that does it, so it should be a really good weekend of fighting. And as I say, make sure you join us. Obviously, we don't just do fighting on All Fans TV. We also do lots of other sports. We'll be live tomorrow night for the Europa League semi-final as Arsenal take their leap of faith to hit the final. And we also do Premier League, lots of other sports. So if you're new around here, please like and subscribe. Smash a like on this video. Rams, over to you to, as you're on fire at the moment, 2-0 up, I'll let you sign off because I'll be back with fire next week.
2 things, people, to the man, them and everyone out there. If you want to join us and enjoy our predictions and get involved with the forfeit, then hey, make it a third wheel. Come on, join the show, give your predictions, get involved in the mix. Let's hear your knowledge, because sometimes I'm not that deep into UFC, and I have to do my own research a little bit because I don't know all the fighters. And the second thing what I was mentioning is that I'm praying to the fighting gods that, fingers crossed, the guns loaded for John's football team, who are under 12s, I think, who load it up when they see me whitewashing 4-0. They abuse him so bad, people. So please, fight gods. I haven't done the research this week, but please help a man out. Yeah, give me that win and let him get abused by his under 12 team. Oi. Other than that, John, I'll let you sign off. To the man, them get on the show.
Yeah. So what Rams are talking about is I help run a little under 12s football team, and when I turn up to the match on Sunday, it's early morning. I'm not really thinking. I've got the balls. I've got the cones. And I shove them down. I'm like, all right, boys, get your boots ready. And our goalkeeper looked up and went, you lost 4-0, 5-0, or whatever he said. And I was like, this little kid talking about, and then it registered me. He was talking about All Fans TV, me and Rams having a bit of bants. So if you're watching, my friend, big up yourself. I won't say the little kids.
Man like Monts, give him some more abuse, Monts. I'm shouting you out, big Monts. I'm shouting you out, big man. Abuse him again, yeah. Do me a favour, tear him up. Oi, you're pepper time, yeah.
Yeah, it's good fun. So on that note, as I say, catch us again next Wednesday for Fight Camp. Hopefully you'll be joining us as John gets his first win on the bag. Otherwise, I could be heading for 3-0 down. And as Class FM has just put, he has just ordered the fermented crocodile penis. And I've got to be honest, I don't really fancy that. Really appreciate you joining us, guys. As I say, join us again next Wednesday for Fight Camp Live, and join us tomorrow night as we wish Arsenal all the best as they try to get to their second Europa League final in a season. You've been watching All Fans TV. I'm John, and I'm gone.